My name is Chef Claudy Pierre. I am a food innovator, community stakeholder, and I am the founder of the EAT Initiative, Empowerment, Awareness, and Training Initiative. That's me, looking crazy. My mom and dad moved to Brooklyn, New York in the early 80s. They came here for a better opportunity for our family. They came from the island of Haiti. Haiti is rich with resources and it's beautiful, but this is where they decided to land. If you know Haitian people, you know Haitian people are known for love, passion, and hospitality. If you know me and my family, we grew up in a Haitian household where one thing that you always knew, you were gonna be entertained, no matter what. And entertainment meant you're gonna sing, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna dance. And the #1 form of entertainment in the Haitian household, anyone will tell you this, is cooking, okay? So me and my 8 siblings all became amateur chefs at a very young age. Also at a very young age, my parents split. We ended up moving to New Jersey. Now, moving to New Jersey, my mom is very young. She's taking care of all of us. She made sure we had something to eat. It was our community and our church that made sure we always had something on our table. And that was the beauty of it. Also, my mom, working 2 to 3 jobs, flew in my grandmother from Haiti, Marie Lucienne de Sources. She is the matriarch of the family, and she also made sure that we all knew how to cook. That was one of the main things. Me, on the other side, I just wanted to become Jerome Bettis, okay? I just wanted to play football, I wanted to eat, I wanted to make sure that I always ate first because I was the high school standout football player, so I always was snooping around the kitchen after practice. So, guess what? My grandma said, I'm gonna trick him into cooking, okay? My grandmother, knowing that I'm gonna snoop in the kitchen before everybody after practice, she said, hey baby, you know, won't you rinse the rice? Do this, do that. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do that. Can I get a taste of it when I do it first? Yes, of course you can. Next thing you know, I'm in the kitchen by myself and she's calling out orders in the room and I'm cooking a whole meal for me and my fam. I'm like, this is crazy. Unfortunately, my grandmother this year was called home to heaven at the really young age of 93 years old. We love her. We do this in honor of her. And the craziest part about it is everything that we're doing is for hospitality and for one another and community. Now, food is what binds us together. First last, first dates, weddings, funerals. Food is community. Food is not just sustenance for your body. Food is actually for your soul. Upon graduating high school, I was a knucklehead, I'm not gonna lie to you, and I almost didn't graduate. Got in a little bit of trouble. I prayed to God, I said, God, if you get me out of this situation that I'm in high school, graduate me, I'm gonna leave and I won't come back until I achieve greatness. Guess what? School in Pittsburgh called Le Cordon Bleu keeps calling me. My mom is like, we're going right now. She takes me to Pittsburgh, we come out of the tunnel. First thing we see is this beautiful city. We thought there would be smokestacks and everything. It was a beautiful city of Pittsburgh. And guess what? I said, I'm staying. I'm staying. She said, you sure? I'm staying. She cried like a baby, and I ended up staying in Pittsburgh, okay? Loved culinary school. It was great. 18 years old, no parents, had a lot of fun, but I'm not gonna lie to you. It was rigorous, and I got to work with a lot of dope chefs, okay? Chef Greg Alazan, Chef Yves Carreau. I worked at a lot of different restaurants, and even at the Waldorf Astoria. I ended up enrolling into the University of Pittsburgh because my mom, she wanted me to continue academically. So after graduating culinary school, I went straight to the University of Pittsburgh and I was working simultaneously. But through my grandma's lens, she made sure that I always did service. She made sure that I always continued, even with academics and everything else, that the community came first and that we looked out for one another. So I love that about that. I also joined a fraternity. This is one of the best fraternities in the world. It was a brotherhood I did not know I needed. And the craziest thing about that is, it opened up the doors to a national platform, international platform. And what that did for me is, it continued my goals to show about food insecurity, my community, culture for service, service for humanity. That is our motto. National platform, I'm ended up doing now media spotlights, cooking shows, things of that nature, all because of the connections that we made through my collegiate network. Now, let's talk about hunger. How many people have been hangry before? Exactly. As adults, we get hangry. You wake up, you don't have something to eat, guess what? You're upset. Now, think about our students. One of my biggest passions is the students, okay? What happens is, a lot of our black and brown community, they don't have the same advantage as some people in other communities. They have lunch as their sole option for food most of the time. So I say to myself, Pittsburgh is always chosen as one of the places that is considered the most livable city. But for who? It's not for everybody. You know, we're here in the beautiful theater district. We're here in the cultural district. And right up the street in the same exact zip code, you have the historic Hill District, full of culture as well, but it's a food desert. You have to go to a dollar store to get what you need to create a dinner for the majority of your family most of the time. So I ask everybody, these are the kind of things that we have to do partnerships. That's the tale of two districts, Cultural District, Hill District, the tale of two cities. We got to think about the unhoused population. We got to think about the senior citizens. And then guess what? Pennsylvania minimum wage is still only $7.25. Grocery shopping, has anybody been to the grocery store lately? You know that groceries are skyrocketing up. There's literally a tale of two cities happening right now. So I ask you guys again, what would it look like if we didn't look at a food insecure city, we looked at a food secure city? Back pre-pandemic, I was super excited. Like I said, came out of culinary school, went to University of Pittsburgh, worked at all these fancy places. I said, I'm gonna start my own spot, right downtown. Man, started off red hot, booming. When I tell you, we had everybody coming through, patio was kicking, we had jazz bands coming through, my own restaurant, I was doing it. Within 18 months, I realized how undercapitalized I was. I hit the pavement, face plant, boom. I was completely down. I was originally married with 3 children, excited about opening this restaurant, and after I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars, that wasn't all mine, I ended up really sad. These are my kids right here. Now, I just want to let you guys know, even though I was down and out, I wasn't out for the count. I was fortunate enough to have a family that prays for me and people in the community that said, we're not going to let you down because you've been pouring back into us all this time. So there was a community cafe that needed to be taken over. I jumped right in. And the beauty of that is the community cafe really showed me all the things that I learned from me and my 8 siblings to my grandmother to cooking, pouring back into the community pouring back into me. This is what we ended up doing. Catering, my whole entire team pulled up for the community, and the community pulled back up for us. And that's why we continue to work the way we do. People don't understand that once we started working for the community worked for itself, and the community poured back into us, and it's a round robin. And now we just have to understand, how do we do it socially? It's not just an email, it's not just, calling each other. We had to make it happen in a way that was effective and people wanted to do it. And so we had started the EAT initiative, Empowerment Awareness Training Initiative, in 2014. Now we had an opportunity to really hit the ground running and make sure things were happening. EAT initiative, like I said, focused on awareness, empowerment for the community, and training. And it was an opportunity for the community to work. We did cooking demos at the local YMCAs. We also did, we gave away kitchen equipment, and we worked with local churches and grassroots organizations to make things happen. We got our first big grant. It wasn't big, it was a couple $1,000, but to me, it was amazing. From the Be Me community, the founder and CEO, Travian Shorters, he said, Claudy, I love what you're doing, but I want you to switch it up. Stop talking about your community as a deficit. I want you to asset frame your community. You're not at risk. You need someone to invest in you and get a return on their investment. Stop asking for some money so that you can fix a problem. You need to put tech. You need to put your best effort into saying, hey, if we invest in this community, in these students, and make sure that they have sustenance and food, they are student athletes, they are the next innovators, they are the next tech pioneers, you're gonna change the game. So my mind started going. All of a sudden, in that same community cafe, we're rocking and rolling with this new thought process and we're making it happen. All of a sudden, it's 2020. We're about to kill it, right? Remember that? We're about to kill it. Yeah, 2020 comes and boom, St. Patty's Day's coming. We buy all this stuff. We're getting ready for St. Patty's Day and the government says, hey guys, there's this new thing called a pandemic that I don't know if you guys know about, called COVID, and we're shutting everything down, okay? And instead of us shutting down, we decided to say, hey, we're gonna shut down operations, but with all this extra inventory, my team and I started to build lunches and meals for the community. And we used social media, once again, to make sure that everybody had meals over and over and over again. People kept coming to the cafe, remember? We poured into them, they poured into us. It's a round robin of things happening. We kept making meals. We kept calling people, putting it on social media, and guess what they did? They kept sharing our posts. They kept making sure people came to us to show us what was going on, and they kept highlighting one another. The students came, the senior citizens came, the people that had nothing to do with it donated, 100 here, 500 there. Keep making the meals, Claudy. Do not give up. We love what you're doing. It was one of the best things ever. My team and I created the Third Meal Program. Third Meal Program now is just for senior citizens and the students. 3 to 7 p.m. we found a sweet spot. That sweet spot meant that, guess what? It's not breakfast, it's not lunch, it's the third meal of the day. Senior citizens eat their dinner around that time, and the students usually after school, that's when they wanted to eat an additional dinner to get the energy going, okay? Lawmakers, media, they all started to see what we did, and they took notice to it. Start giving us accolades. Start telling us, you know what, Claudy? You're doing a great job at what you're doing. Continue, we got your back. We noticed something. People started to say, what do you need and what do you have? That was the common theme when we started talking to people. They said, we have this, but we need that. If we have this and you need it, we started to change. That, we called it the Food Access Network. City officials, myself, other grassroots organizations, we formed this thing called Food Access Network. And now we said, wow, we have a small group of people through Zoom, it's still pandemic, that would then share and pool resources. Thought about Trabian, thought about the community, said, wow, this could be, a great opportunity for us to do a digital ecosystem with the Food Access Network. I bring to you Food Secure City. Food Secure City, imagine if we had a social platform that did not add another email to your plate, right? Because we all could use a couple more emails, right? No, exactly. But this is something that would cause all the corporations, the companies, the hospitals, local grassroots organizations, people to build profiles. And we can start to do things in a social network where we now talking to each other, hey, there's a food bank distribution over here. Hey, I'm cooking this. This is the recipe. And we start to talk to one another on a digital platform. Food Secure City. What do you have? What do you need? We now also would track data. Census track data, we would also gather information and share information with one another using a social platform, ecosystem, a digital platform that did not have you stressed out about being on another Zoom and being on another call. You can post or you can read it whenever you wanted to. And this would allow us to really help one another grow our food ecosystem so that we're building a food secure city without having to feel pressure. And that's what Food Secure City is. Simultaneously, we decided to do something called World Food Day. Now, World Food Day was created by the World Food Program and the United Nations. And you know the United Nations has their goals, and we are part of that. Hunger is a big part of that. Health and wellness is a big part of that. And so what we said is we're going to join forces with the United Nations and the World Food Day. And we did it in Pittsburgh. 2020 was the first year. Now it's an annual thing that everybody is bought into, and then this year, we decided to launch that program called Food Secure City. Like I said, Food Secure City is going to become the digital platform that now causes everybody to just be able to interact, and you can add information from wherever you are and whatever you're doing without you feeling that. And the community is a part of it. It's your way of pouring into the community, and the community pours back into you. We're going to literally use social determinants of health. We're going to be able to have all types of resources at your fingertips, and you can add, and you can also be aware of all the things that are happening. Right now, we're excited to say that Pittsburgh is prime for this kind of stuff. We have all the science, the technology, the arts, the math, the people, the policy. Could you imagine if we're able to connect around food, around community? This is what this is about. Pittsburgh has all the pieces to the puzzle. There's no reason why there's a tale of two cities here. There's no reason why there's people that are starving literally in the same zip code as $1 billion industry. There's no reason for that. I'm challenging everyone right now to help Pittsburgh become the first food secure city. The information, the time, your effort, it works if we work. It will come together if you pour into the community. If you allow the community to work for itself, we don't need to give them a solution. You give them investment, and you allow the community to start to build together. And food is the one thing that brings us all together. I don't care if you're black, you're white, you're man, you're immigrant, you're from the country, you're indigenous. Food is the one thing we all love and we all need, and it literally brings us together. I'm challenging everyone right now. If you're under the sound of my voice, please help us make Pittsburgh the first food secure city. My name is Chef Claudy Pierre. Thank you so much.